The world that we live in can be very unfair. When we see bad stuff happening around us, we can either choose to conveniently ignore it or be brave enough to stand up for what's right. I chose the latter. Hi, I'm Nelson Mandela, the first black president of South Africa. I was born in 1918 to the royal family of the Tembu tribe in South Africa. My dad was the chief of the tribe, and I was named Rolihlahla by my parents, which meant naughty. And I was a naughty child indeed. I'd play stick fighting with my friends for hours, and we'd slide down huge rocks near our village until our butts got really sore. And we learned to ride by sitting on top of cows and donkeys. One day, my friends and I were trying to ride a horse, and when my turn came, the animal got angry and threw me into the bushes. Look at him! What a loser! Your dad must be so proud of you right now. At least I tried. That's what's important. That day, I learned a valuable lesson. Never to humiliate anyone, because it makes them feel terrible, just as I felt that day. So even as a kid, I defeated my opponents without humiliating them. When I was 5, Mom enrolled me into a local school, and I became the first person from my family to receive formal education. One of my teachers named me Nelson, meaning champion, and the name stuck. Growing up, I came across very few white men. Our district officer was white, and we looked at him with awe and respect. But when I moved to Johannesburg to study law, I noticed the vast difference in the way whites and blacks were treated in my country. This one time, I saw a woman standing next to her broken car, and I offered to help. Reluctantly, she agreed, and I fixed her car. Here, take this. No, thank you. I'm good. But you're black. Why did you fix my car if you didn't want the money? Because you're a woman and you were stranded on a deserted road. After that incident, I kept witnessing day after day how poorly my people were being treated in their own country. Hey, you! Get up! Can't you see this seat is reserved for white men? But I have a ticket too. Then go sit on the floor. Soon, I learned this injustice wasn't limited to train rides. It was everywhere. The white people enjoyed better living facilities, schools, had high-paying jobs, while the blacks struggled with poverty and were discriminated against all the time. This toilet is reserved for the white. This is a white-only restaurant. Even when a white and black person did the same job, the latter was paid considerably less. And the worst part, we weren't even allowed to vote. This senseless discrimination called apartheid made my blood boil. And to end it, I joined the African National Congress. Our group strived to achieve equal rights for everyone, and our protests were mostly nonviolent. Soon, many people started supporting our movement, and the ruling authorities felt threatened. So, I was arrested along with my friends and sentenced to life imprisonment. I spent the next 28 years in jail, but I kept fighting my battle from the prison too, even when they put me in the most secluded one. Mr. Mandela, it is said you've been sending letters outside. Is it true? You can put me in the remotest part of the country, and I'll still find a way to pass my message outside. The authorities offered to set me free twice, but I wasn't willing to compromise on my principles. Finally, when the political and public pressure became too much, I was released in 1990. And 3 years later, Native Africans got the right to vote, and apartheid was almost completely abolished. The next year, I became South Africa's first black president. It is time to heal our wounds. It is time for peace and justice. And above all, it is time for a new South Africa, where there will be work, bread, water, and salt for all. Even after I was no longer the president, I continued to work for equality and peace, for which I got the Nobel Peace Prize. Today, I'm remembered as a hero who transformed his nation and kept fighting for what is right.